And like the new dude raised this kid from 6 years old all the way up to 18. And she want her real daddy to walk her down the aisle. Like, so you mean I done put in, bro, 12 years of work, bro, and I can't even walk you down the aisle?
You have to keep in mind that no matter how much you do for another man's child or how long you're in that child's life, you will never be the father of that child. And there are certain benefits that come with being the father of a child, whether you're absent or not, that you will never receive as a stepdad.
You ain't gonna never be the pappy
if you didn't put the seed in the mammoth.
Now, somebody sent me a video on IG, man, with this group of guys. Great podcast. And they were discussing how this guy has been in this girl's life since she was 6 years old. Now she's getting married. She's 18. She's about to get married. He's paying for the wedding. He paid for everything throughout her life. He raised her. Her biological father was absent. And now at this point, she wants her biological father to be the one to walk her down the aisle. And the stepdad is livid. But you have to ask yourself, does he have a right to be livid? Because he chose to step into a position that he could never fully fulfill? Or does he need to just take his losses and understand that a girl's dream is to have her father walk her down the aisle, not her stepdad? Let's take a look at this video, man. We'll come back and chop it up on the real tip.
Got a couple people right in that got married. And like the new dude raised this kid from 6 years old all the way up to 18. And she want her real daddy to walk her down the aisle. Like, so you mean I done put in, bro, 12 years of work, bro, and I can't even walk you down the aisle?
Birthdays.
Look.
Doing all, you know what I'm saying? We talking birthdays. Goddamn. And that was a girl. So that was birthdays, Valentine's Day, Christmas, Easter outfits.
Yeah.
All of this shit, you going out with your little friends.
Right.
I'm fronting all this, and I'm paying the bills.
I'm paying for this wedding we in right now,
and I'm paying for the wedding. You got me fucked up.
You saying I can't walk you down the aisle? I got to take a back seat to.
It wasn't even there.
And then on top of that,
did nothing but provided.
Hey, y'all remember that story? then the mom.
Your mama should have swallowed it.
Hey, then on top of that, the mama was like, I don't have no problem with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, as you can see, this group of guys, they are rather upset about this result that this stepfather is getting. But you have to ask yourself, why would you go into a position as a stepdad assuming that you're ever going to get the benefits of a biological father? I don't care what you do as a stepdad. You are not the biological father. And there is a spiritual connection with the biological father that you could never develop. And so, yes, a girl gets to a certain age and she wants to have her father walk her down the aisle. If I was going to marry a girl who grew up in the home with her stepfather, he could have been there from the time she was born. But if she knows her biological father, I'm going to suggest, matter of fact, I'm going to demand that she have a biological father walk her down the aisle. If she doesn't want to do that, then there will be no wedding. There is no stepfather who's going to step in and do the role of a dad. See, as a stepdad, you're agreeing to come into a situation and help a woman raise her children. You're not agreeing to come in and be a father. You could never be the father. So you're just coming in, filling the position in a woman's world. And that's my main issue with being a stepdad. You are not going into a position of power. You are coming into a position that is open in a woman's world. No man should ever acclimate his life to be included in a woman's world. It's your job to lead as a man, and you can never go into a woman's world and lead. She's the mother of those children. You are simply a man who is coming in, taking on the responsibilities that the father left behind. But the term father, the definition father, will always belong to that man. So you hear these young guys, man, and they're saying, you know, he's been there, he's paying for the wedding, he will be messed up. You know, you got me messed up. No, you got yourself messed up. When you enter into a situation as a stepdad, you got yourself messed up. Because here's the thing. The one thing you know for sure as a stepdad, that the kids will never be yours. They will never be yours. There is no point in your life where those stepchildren are going to be your children. I don't care if you adopt them. I don't care what you do. You cannot make another man's children your own. Secondly, you are agreeing and accepting the role of a second chance dad. You're not the original dad. The woman and the children would prefer the original dad to be there. If whatever had gone wrong had gone right, you wouldn't even be in the picture. You're only in the picture because there's a need for someone to fill a role that was designed for another man. The third thing, you're never going to be respected for it. You understand? Yes, there is an appreciation that someone has when they see the results of someone who didn't have any man in the household versus what they feel like they got from you being present. But the bottom line is you will never get the respect that a father would have gotten in that position. And that's the thing. You're playing the exact same position, but you're never going to get the exact same respect. So why do it? It's like me and you working a job, doing the same thing, same amount of experience, same amount of education, but I'm going to let them pay you $100,000 a year and let them pay me 50 because you were there first. Even though you're part-time now, they're going to pay you $100,000 for being part-time, pay me 50 for being full-time. That's exactly what that situation is. Perfect analogy to let you know what you're getting yourself in when you become a stepdad. Now, another thing is this. When you become a stepdad, you are seeking fulfillment for your desires to be a father. You can't fulfill your fatherhood desires by being a stepdad. You can make the children call you dad. You can call them your daughters. You could get out in the street with a bullhorn and tell the world,
these are my babies. I don't care who put the seed and name on them. These are my babies. And you better not disagree with me if you don't want no drama.
You can do that if you want to. But the bottom line is,
you ain't gonna never be papa if you didn't put the seed in the man.
That's the way it is, homie. You never gonna be that. You are always going to be what is called a stepdad, a fill-in dad, an expendable dad. Because if the woman goes on to be with another man, he's going to be the new stepdad, and you're not going to be anything. You're not going to even have any ties that bind to the children. Only the biological father has unbreakable ties that bind to his children. And a lot of times, you guys have also put yourself in a mental space where you need to be better than your father was. The problem is you got to be better than your father with your own children. You can't step into a stepdad position and think you're going to be better than your father because your father needed to improve as a father, not a stepdad. You need to be a better father than he was to you. You can't do that with another man's children. So yes, this girl has every right to do what comes naturally. Here's the thing about stepdads. You believe that another man's children owe you something. They don't. Those children didn't stand on the corner with a sign saying, hey, will you be our stepdad? I guarantee you this girl went on the corner as a kid wearing a sweatshirt that said, hey, mister, will you be my stepdad? No, you stepped into a situation. And let's clarify this. There ain't no such thing as stepdad. You are not a stepdad. You can't be a stepdad. You are a man who married a woman who has children, and those children and caring for those children are now your responsibility. But you ain't no kind of dad. Let's just kill the whole term stepdad. You are not any kind of dad or any kind of father. You are a man who took on the responsibility of raising and taking care of another man's children. That's not any kind of father. That's some kind of fool. And that's just the reality of it, man. You can be hurt all you want to, but you can't refute anything that I'm saying to you right now. Because this is the issue. Women don't respect the position when you do it as much as they respect the position when the biological father does it. See, there's a full circle energy connection that connects like Voltron when the mother, the children, and the father are present in the same household. That's something that you can never recreate because you don't have the father's energy. You don't have any connection to those children. They don't have any connection to you. When the children are concerned, you and the woman can never make any connection between you and her with the children in between because they're her children, not yours. They're never going to be your children. Yes, she will call you this and she will call you that. And she will say, yes, you're her dad and all that right there. And you will buy into it. Why? Because you're foolish. You will let a woman tell you something that's not true and you will buy into it because you want to be this so bad. You want to impress this woman so bad that you will slide into a position that she should be forced to make work with the biological father. Because 9 times out of 10, people think that it's the father who left or the father who just abandoned the children. About 50% of the time, It's the woman who has done things to make a man say, okay, if you want to do it by yourself, do it by yourself. No man should have to beg a woman to be a father in his children's life. And the bottom line is many women want a man to beg, but you didn't have to be begged. You came right in and you Russell Wilson that man and said,
We don't need him. I don't want her to have to deal with him. We don't even need his money. He can go away. I make a lot of money too. We don't need his money. We don't need this conversation. Little Russell here is mine now.
This is what you have to understand. You put yourself in a position like this. So every stepdad has to view himself the same as Russell Wilson. You're a man who's in a position that you're never going to be appreciated for, because when a child becomes an adult, you know what that child wants? A connection with his biological father. And that's all this girl is doing. She wants a connection with her biological father, and she believes that this is the perfect place to really, really bridge that gap between them. And you never know how much they've been dealing with each other. She may have been visiting him already, spending time with him. You are taking care of that woman's household. That woman is your woman. You are taking care of her and the things that come with her. That's all you're doing. You don't get no accolades. You don't deserve any accolades for being a stepdad. Stepdads are replaceable. A woman can have 5 husbands and only one of those men is going to be the father of her children. You are just another stepdad. If you and her break up now and she moves on, next year she's with another man, marries him, guess what? He's the new stepdad. 10 years after that, she breaks up with him, marries another man, he's the new stepdad. But you got to go all the way back to the day she was impregnated. And that man is those children's father. He always will be. Even if that man passes away, you will not be those children's father. So this girl is well within her rights, because children will always desire that connection with their biological father. And no girl grows up dreaming that at her wedding, her stepdad walks her down the aisle. And nothing you do is enough for you to deserve to be put in the place of that man that girl has dreamt of walking her down the aisle since she was a little girl. You just gotta chalk this one up to the game, homie. I'm telling you what I know. Stepdad is a position where you will never be fully compensated for the investment of your time, energy, and effort, nor will you be recompensed for the emotional attachment that you develop to some children that don't belong to you. Y'all comment down below and let me know what you think about this topic, man. I look forward to hearing what you men have to say. I'm out.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Tricks acting like they max, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Betas claiming to be alpha, but they not though. Now, I'm not gonna tell you, man, that you shouldn't value your woman at all. A woman does have value, but you can't overvalue her